How you doing? This is Dave Farrell with Marlin Magazine. We're here at the ICAST Show 2008. I'm with John Drouet from Momoy, and we're going to talk a little bit about these new diamond braid that they have. It's a hollow core braid. It's called diamond braid, and you can actually splice monofilament into this braid to make wind-on leaders and whatnot. Correct?
Wind-on leaders, top shots, any type of connection to increase the line capacity on any fishing reel.
Now, what pound test is this coming in now?
We're going to do it from 15 pound all the way to 200 pound.
Wow, that's pretty good
The
size.
hollow cores will be available from 80 to 200 pound.
Beauty. Is there any kind of special tools that you have to have?
You need to have the special splicing needles, which are available. And what we try to do is a top quality splice needle to naturally go with the top quality diamond fishing product stuff. The diamond lines, Momoy stuff, naturally fits right in with the braid. The most important thing is to have a needle that has a smooth finish, consequently to slide through the spectra fiber.
So it won't catch on this.
So it doesn't catch on the fibers. Very important.
Beauty.
The people who taught me how to splice told me my first splice would take about 30 minutes. Second splice about 20 minutes. I would get good enough to do a splice in 2 minutes, maybe 45 seconds.
How fast can you do it now?
Now we're going to see, because I've gotten kind of good at it. So we're going to run this thing down real simple. The one thing that we're not going to show today is the amount of spectra glue that you put on each end, because we didn't do any glue here. But we'll show you the needles. We'll show you the hollow core line. We're going to do a 80 pound test, 16 carrier hollow core. We're going to insert 130 pound test in it.
Beauty.
The thing about our braided line, it's very unique because of the amount of carriers in it and the deniers in braid, and we've had to learn a whole new language about this. Our braid is thick enough that when we splice it, you will not be able to see the mono inside it, which is very important for abrasion resistance.
All right, beauty. Let's do one.
So we'll see what we can do here. This will now be coming in a package similar to this. We're going to put the pound test on it, the nice diamond logos, and we have one open right here.
That's 80 pounds.
80 pound, and one thing's very important I found out is when you cut the braid, we recommend a razor blade or a very good pair of mono cutters, because you want it to be cut square.
You got to have an even end.
You got to have an even end. If you're a raggedy end, you end up pushing a piece of fiber inside the hollow core. That's a struggle to actually thread the spool in there. What we offer here, and it's very important, the right size needle for the job that you're going to do. So the needle set we offer is going to have 5 splicing needles. Naturally, for something of 80 pound type diameter, I like to go in with a small needle first to open up the hollow core. In the needle set, we'll offer a loop needle, which makes your wind-on leaders, and a latch needle to go ahead and put your braid back together if you have a break off in it.
Beauty.
One important aspect of this is I found out the best way to do this is to allow gravity. And I'll do the best I can to hold this up in front of the camera. Let gravity help you. You cannot splice braid sideways. The natural tendency is to put the line in sideways. We want to go straight up and down. With a flat cut, tap it on top and it creates a small funnel. And then I take the initial needle and we're going to go into the little funnel we had. Now when I started, it's a common thing to try to put the needle into the braid. It makes sense to do it that way. Reverse your thinking. Put the braid onto the needle and you will find that it channels right up.
It works better with Dacron that way too.
It does, it sure does. And it can be, like I said, very frustrating on your first one. It's a learning process. I'm hoping to have a DVD on splicing and have one of the best splicers come out of Boston that does all the bluefin tuna splicing. He can do these in 10 seconds. It's amazing to watch this guy work with this stuff. So we're going to put together an educational DVD to go with a needle kit. And your best splice, we're not going to go in quite that far with this piece. 3 to 4 foot would probably be the normal thing. And somebody would say, God, to go in that far. Well, we've already gone in 1.5 feet in, 20 seconds or something. Today we're just going to take this splice down, probably 1.5 feet. And to come out, you just turn it and bring the needle out. Do not worry about taking this needle out. And what we've done, this is called relaxing the braid.
Yep, you blew it up.
We blew it out. Which consequently, when we put this mono in, we've opened up a channel that will be very easy to run the heavier monos in. the main reason you would want to use this is you will now be able to put about 600 or 1,200 yards on a small reel of 80-pound test and still fish an 80-pound test mono, 100-pound, 130, all the way up to 200-pound test on this braid. Now again, we will look for the needle that will fit the mono as close as you can get it.
That looks like a little
That's
small.
a little small. Let's try this guy right here. Something different about our needle.
Yeah, that is a very special needle with
The old ones used to go in about that far and lock in. We've had these bored to go all the way to the tip.
You can thread that mono in there really nice.
Thread it in nice, and it stays there. You don't have to worry about it coming out. Some people recommend using a smaller needle, shaving it down with a razor blade into a little rat tail for a real smooth connection. You can do that. I've had a lot of success just by doing this. Now, one of the main things to remember is we have already opened and relaxed this braid. We're going to come straight up with it.
If you really wanted to, you could do that in one step.
You could do it in one step, but it would be a little tighter going down the channel. And for the extra 2 minutes it takes you to go ahead and run the braid on there, it's well worth it to me. And again, remember, we're working with a very small 0.042 diameter braid, and we're putting a larger mono in it, so the more you open and relax it, and as you can see, Dave, you do not even see the needle through the braid.
Right.
By relaxing that, you don't have what we call a blowout. Now, if at any time your needle comes out the side, relax it, pull down just a little bit, get past it, and take your time and go right back into it again, and you will bypass what we call picking up that little fiber, trying to bring a fiber from here all the way down to here. We're already now at the point to where we were. I go in just a little bit further, and as you can see, Dave,
It starts to get tight.
it gets real tight, which is good. Okay, we're going to tighten it up. We're going to come right out the side again, and we're going to come up the needle. We are now done with this needle.
Beautiful.
A little bit of mono coming out. I like to just go ahead and remember, this is going to be very loose right now. I'm going to cut it at just a little bit of an angle, and what that's going to do, it's going to be like a hook barb, and it's going to grab that mono. We're going to cinch it down, and this will be the line coming off your reel. This is what comes through your guides, and you can now feel, Dave, how smooth this is. This will go through your guides.
Yes, it will.
You won't even feel it. We're going to kind of tighten it down. Okay? And at this end, where your mono goes in, this is your connection coming out now.
Right.
And again, once we put a little bit of Spectra glue on here, this will go through our Spectra and rough up the mono, and it will hold it. Now, after doing all this work, you're going to observe something very funny. What color are my hands?
They're clean.
The color has not come off. The color does not come out of this braid. This is a big deal.
And this thing will hold. You know, a lot of fellas think you really have to put a lot of mono up inside their Dacron or their hollow core braid like this. A good 2 feet is usually plenty. It's more than plenty. And even, you know, guys make a lot of special effort to put a lot of wrappings around the end. Really, that's just as an emergency thing, because even this stuff with no wraps on it, I bet you we're going to get a good pull on it.
We'll get enough to where I didn't leave a big tag, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's not going to come out of that hole.
What we've done is this splice is creating an even pressure all the way down the fishing line. A knot will only offer the protection at the first loop because knots cut themselves. That's the weakness of all fishing line. Now, the one aspect of doing this, and you know, we're going to kind of blow our own horn here by using a quality monofilament like a diamond line, for instance. A 130-pound diamond line is going to give you a break strength of 250 pounds, and I know Dave's done some mono tests on it, and he knows exactly what we're talking about here. We will now offer you something with a diameter of about 16-pound test and an 80-pound braid that you can now splice a capacity of a 250-pound test straight line fishing line with a diamond line straight to the hook.
Catch blue marlins on it.
Catch big blue marlins on it, no problem. This is a unique setup, and again, as you can say, the one main thing we were concerned about when we developed this, you don't want to see monofilament through here, which means you don't have enough denier in the Spectra to protect the mono. A critical aspect of splicing. So combined with the needle set, the braid, and the technology of a Moy fishing line, it's a home run.
Thanks, brother. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you,
Nice
Dave.
job.